That
Thank
was
you.
a very impressive trip through the top 8. You've donned a new hat.
I have.
I see. Your friends made you put it on in case you had won the tournament, but happy St. Patrick's Day out there to everyone. So you have a lot of history with this deck.
I do.
You are in fact the originator of TES.
That is correct.
Tell me a little bit about the founding, the genesis of the deck.
Well, back in August of 2006, I was playing other combo decks at the time. There was a deck called Nausea. It was a Hum of Awakening based combo deck, and I wasn't really happy with it, so I started building my own combo deck, a creature-based combo deck. It ran Hum of Awakening with cards like Priest of Gix that had a single black mana,
Sure.
and Trinket Mage to find lands on island. It also ran Calling the Weak, sacrifice those creatures, add 4 black.
Okay.
It ran a couple funny cards like Second Sunrise. The deck wasn't very good.
Sure.
And then over time, the deck got new tools like Rite of Flame, Empty the Warrens, and much later Ad Nauseam.
Right. And then much later, Past in Flames.
Yes.
And so we ended up with what we have today, which is the Epic Storm.
That is true.
And also offshoots of the Epic Storm, such as Ad Nauseam Tendrils is a little bit different. Tin Fins is vastly different. You must be a proud papa to have this deck that's been a pillar of the format for such a long time.
Yeah.
And now, is this your biggest win with the deck?
I top-8'd Grand Prix Columbus back in 2010.
Okay.
But this is pretty large.
Yeah, and you get a cup with this
That's
one,
true.
which is pretty nice. Now, is it just happenstance that you were able to do it in this metagame, or was there something specific about the metagame in Legacy right now that allowed you to have such success?
Over the last couple months, Legacy's become a format full of more fair decks, and combo decks, as you've seen today, are starting to dominate the field. TES is actually pretty good against other combo decks because it has tools like Silence to disrupt your opponents while they're trying to combo, and it also protects you against blue decks. So I think it has a pretty good odds against the field.
Nice, and you actually had a turn 1 win on camera.
I did.
That must have been pretty nice to have.
Yeah.
How many turn 1 wins did you have today?
If I had a guess, I have notes actually, I could probably look it up, but I think around 8.
Jeez, 8. That's absurd. Were they mostly against non-brainstorm decks?
Yeah.
They were.
My toughest round was actually my win-in round against a guy named JD. I'm a big Scrubs fan, so I appreciated that.
Sure.
He was running Esper Blade.
And that was obviously the decks that have the most counter spells.
Yeah.
You have the most trouble with. Is there any other card other than basically Force of Will, maybe Stifle, other than the traditional cards that you might think of that you're afraid of when you're a Storm Pilot?
Mindbreak Trap, because post-board, I tend to board out my silences and sometimes my dresses against the more fair decks for Chain of Vapor, Cobalt Therapy, and Abrupt Decay.
Sure.
So every once in a while, you don't have good Axiom Probe, and you might run into a Mindbreak Trap.
Yeah, against like Jund decks that have it in the sideboard where you're not necessarily expecting it or something like that. Okay. So do you think it's a good choice going forward?
I think it's a great choice.
All right. Well, if you had, I think that you need to practice, though. This is one of those decks where clearly play skill matters. I think we saw, especially in Game 1 of your finals match, I was very impressed by the order in which and the way in which you played your spells. So congratulations once again. Go out and practice counting to 20 or 21 with the grape shot in Game 1, and hopefully we'll have some more. So congratulations once again. No problem. We're going to toss it right back to the booth with Joey and Adrian. That's it for me from Star City Games, Washington, D.C.
And we're back. I'm Joey Pasco, joined by Adrian Sullivan in the booth, coming to you guys live from Washington, D.C., where the StarCityGames.com Legacy Open and Standard Open have just wrapped up.
Yeah, it's been an amazing tournament. Congratulations to Bryant Cook for